Some encounters leave you drained without explanation. You meet someone who appears perfectly normal, even charming, yet something indefinable feels wrong. That unease in your chest, the sudden heaviness that settles over conversations, the way peace seems to flee when they arrive. These reactions signal something far more serious than ordinary personality conflicts. We're addressing individuals who carry spiritually corrosive energy, people who seem driven by hidden agendas to drain what's beautiful, light, and authentic in others. They don't require dramatic possession like movie depictions suggest. Instead, they operate as conduits for dark influences, sometimes knowingly, often unconsciously surrendering to forces that seek to poison purity, fracture love, and extract energy from those who still shine. The most disturbing aspect involves their disguises. They often hide behind pleasant facades, displaying warmth, charisma, even apparent spirituality. They may present as helpful, compassionate individuals while systematically undermining your well-being. But certain indicators never lie, and once you recognize these patterns, you cannot unsee them. The first warning sign manifests as inexplicable energy depletion in their presence. You begin interactions feeling vibrant and optimistic, but minutes of conversation leave you hollowed out. Your body grows heavy, thoughts become muddled, and your heart pounds without cause. Inside, your soul feels contaminated and empty, despite their maintained pleasantness. This extends beyond typical negativity. These individuals function as energy vampires, feeding on your light, hope, and peace. They drain through words, glances, gestures, even strategic silences. Everything appears disguised as concern, humor, or spiritual guidance, but serves the singular purpose of emptying you, making you surrender what connects you to goodness. Without recognition, you gradually distance yourself from joy, faith, and dreams, not through lost motivation but through sheer energetic depletion. You lose the strength to feel. The second indicator involves systematic reality distortion designed to make you question your own perception. These individuals excel at twisting truth. They deliver cruel statements, then gaslight you when confronted. "I never said that" becomes their standard response, followed by accusations that you're exaggerating or imagining things. When you show pain, they label you oversensitive. They remember everything convenient while forgetting what doesn't serve them. Gradually, you begin doubting your memory, judgment, and sanity. This represents calculated strategy, not accident. They want to become the dominant voice in your head. Once they undermine your trust in your own perception, they control your worldview. They separate you from reality, goodness, and divine connection. The manipulation proves so subtle that you find yourself apologizing for their wrongs, feeling perpetually mistaken, unsure whether you're overreacting or becoming callous. They observe your confusion with quiet satisfaction. This echoes ancient patterns. The serpent in Genesis was described as the most cunning of all creatures. That same cunning operates today through people who appear completely ordinary. The third sign involves deliberate dream sabotage executed with surgical precision. When excitement sparkles in your eyes over new aspirations, they systematically extinguish that flame through gradual doses of discouragement. Their questions sound protective. "Are you sure this is right for you? Aren't you being somewhat selfish? I just don't want to see you disappointed." Their concern masks the real agenda: containment. Your growth disturbs them. Your happiness triggers wounds they refuse to address. Watching you pursue your calling forces them to confront their own abandoned dreams. Rather than support you, they erode your courage with poisonous words disguised as care or honesty. Like emotional herbicide, each phrase kills another branch of your aspirations. Eventually, you stop dreaming boldly, stop attempting, stop hearing that divine whisper of possibility in quiet moments. Their voice grows louder than God's voice within you. This isn't assistance, it's sabotage. They prefer you diminished, silent, hidden because smallness makes you controllable. But you weren't created for contracted living. God breathed dreams into you purposefully, not for burial under others' fears. Stay alert to those who mock your calling. Many remembered today as prophets were initially dismissed as delusional. Why? Because they had courage to hear something only they could detect, God's voice echoing within them. The fourth warning sign reveals itself through their relationship with chaos and confusion. Where peace and divine presence should reign, chaos often indicates hidden malevolence. Some people seem to thrive on disorder. These human demons delight in igniting small emotional fires, then watching everything burn from safe distances as if uninvolved. They manufacture arguments over trivial matters, distort your words, push you to breaking points, then blame you entirely when you react. "You're so unbalanced," they declare. These individuals pit people against each other while maintaining innocent bystander facades. They require turmoil because clarity threatens their control. Notice the pattern. When they're present, something always goes wrong. Someone stays irritated, offended, ready to explode. If calm persists too long, they generate fresh problems from nothing, creating storms from clear skies. When you attempt serious discussion, they victimize themselves, create drama, twist everything until you doubt your own sanity. But you're not the problem, you're simply beginning to see truth. This confusion isn't coincidental, it's strategic. They keep you exhausted, emotionally drained, without mental space for clear thinking or deeper divine connection. Confusion, fragility, and instability make you easily manipulated, which serves their purpose perfectly. The fifth and most dangerous sign involves systematic isolation through relationship sabotage. This transcends emotional manipulation. They seek total life control. Achievement requires first weakening your foundation, accomplished not through dramatic destruction but gradual doubt injection. They plant suspicions carefully. "Are you certain your best friend really likes you? Your brother seems strange lately. That spiritual leader strikes me as fake." Everything sounds concerned and caring while intending separation from people who genuinely love you. They weaponize secrets, spread behind-the-scenes poison disguised as sincerity. Slowly, they create fractures in your relationships. Family, friends, spiritual community, no one escapes. Eventually, you find yourself surrounded by tension, distance, and mistrust. Who remains consistently present? They do. Their voice becomes the only one you hear because isolation creates vulnerability. Losing your support system weakens emotional clarity and spiritual discernment. You begin depending on them unconsciously. This strategy mirrors the wolf separating sheep from the flock. Alone, prey becomes easily devoured. But God never designed you for solitude. Ecclesiastes 4 verse 12 states, "Though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves." A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. These individuals want to sever that cord, making them your sole trusted confidant while they systematically destroy you. This transcends toxic relationships. It represents direct soul assault, deliberate separation from your identity, mission, and connection to Christ's body. When something within you sounds the alarm, take it seriously. This isn't drama, it's spiritual discernment. Profound differences exist between judgment and discernment. If you identify these patterns in your life, follow these essential steps. First, trust what your spirit perceives, not just what your eyes observe. You may lack concrete evidence. This person might appear wonderful externally, making you feel guilty for suspecting them. But God's Spirit dwells within you purposefully. When someone's presence consistently triggers chest tightness, restlessness, or endless confusion, God attempts to alert you. He whispers in silence while the enemy creates distracting noise. Jesus instructed in Matthew 10 verse 16 to be wise as serpents and innocent as doves, meaning don't be naive, see beyond appearances. Remember, wolves wear sheep's clothing. Second, establish firm boundaries and maintain them. Controlling people despise limits because boundaries prevent manipulation. When you finally say no, expect accusations that you've changed, become cold, ungrateful, insensitive. They'll turn everything against you, but don't waver. This reaction confirms the boundary's necessity. Jesus regularly withdrew from crowds, even disciples, to tend his spirit. If God's Son understood distancing's importance, why do we exhaust ourselves trying to please everyone? Third, cut ties when necessary without guilt. It may hurt and frighten you. They might attempt destroying your reputation, but sometimes freedom's first step requires distance. In 2 Timothy 3 verse 5, Paul warns about people appearing spiritual while denying God's true power. He doesn't suggest changing them, he commands avoiding them. You weren't called to save those dragging you from your mission. These people weren't sent for your transformation. Often they're positioned to derail your purpose. You owe your soul to no one. Fourth, gravitate toward light. After severing harmful connections, reconnect with what helps you flourish. Surround yourself with strengthening people who pray with you, who energize rather than drain you. Healthy, God-guided community isn't optional. It's essential shelter during storms. Seek those who awaken your best qualities, not those making you feel diminished. Sometimes, mere presence reminds us that being alive is a gift. Joy and hope are sacred. Toxic people, spiritual predators in human form, hate light because it exposes their nature. Stay near light always. Fifth, reconnect with God's voice. The cruelest damage these individuals inflict involves silencing what's most precious, God's voice in your heart. Suddenly you stop praying, dreaming, even doubting you can be truly loved without proving anything or serving someone's needs. But listen carefully, God never stopped speaking to you. Even amid chaos, exhaustion, and pain, He remained there whispering, waiting for you to notice He never left. Now He speaks louder, calling you back. Allow Him to heal broken dreams, rebuild stolen trust, call you by your true name rather than imposed labels. Then comes perhaps the most challenging step, reclaiming what the enemy attempted to steal. Manipulative people don't enter your life merely for discomfort. They intend corrupting your identity, scrambling your vision of yourself, God, and your purpose. But here's good news, you never lost your power. Now comes your moment to take position. The enemy fears this awakening, when God's child realizes their spiritual authority. In Luke 10 verse 19, Jesus declares, I have given you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions and to overcome all the power of the enemy. Nothing will harm you. This isn't mere poetry, it's real power, heavenly authority. You have the right to break from everything impure, reject lies, and declare truth about yourself. You need no one's permission to distance yourself, no requirement that others understand, apologize, or approve your decisions. You can and must choose freedom. Don't fall into the trap of thinking peace means staying silent. That's not peace, it's polite imprisonment. True peace comes from alignment with God's Spirit, not appeasing people sent to destroy you. You were created to reign with Christ, not submit to anyone's manipulation. The battle isn't merely survival, it's transformation through struggle. If your soul was crushed, dreams mocked, if they convinced you there's no hope, listen carefully. God hasn't abandoned you. Release the illusion they'll change. Release the need to explain yourself. Release guilt for not recognizing sooner. You weren't made to carry anything from malevolent sources. Break free, reclaim what's yours. Understand this, you don't exit spiritual warfare pretending nothing happened. You need healing, reconstruction with heavenly guidance, the Holy Spirit directing every step. Return to God's presence daily. When your soul suffers wounds, the path back begins by hearing the only voice that matters. Not abusers' voices or past echoes, only His. Create listening space. Turn off devices, close doors, breathe deeply and say, God, I'm here. Speak to me. And He will speak. Isaiah 30 verse 21 promises, whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, this is the way, walk in it. God's voice never manipulates or humiliates. It may correct, but always with love and restorative purpose, never to crush. Let Him touch hidden wounds. Spiritual abuse leaves deep scars invisible to others. It's acceptable if trusting, dreaming, and praying with former fervor takes time. Healing is also sacred. Speak to God as you truly are, with genuine feelings. Lord, I'm afraid. I feel foolish. I'm angry. I miss those who hurt me. He already knows and still waits for you to surrender these burdens, not for punishment but for healing. Psalm 34 verse 18 declares, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Allow His approach and bless everything still coming. The recognition that some humans serve as conduits for spiritual darkness shouldn't create paranoia but should sharpen discernment. Not everyone who challenges you carries malevolent intent. Healthy relationships involve conflict, growth, and occasional discomfort as iron sharpens iron. The distinction lies in the fruit produced over time. Authentic spiritual mentors may challenge comfortable beliefs, but they do so to expand your capacity for truth and love. They might create temporary discomfort while building long-term strength. Their words, even when corrective, leave you feeling more connected to your divine purpose, not severed from it. Spiritual predators operate differently. Their influence consistently produces confusion, isolation, and diminished capacity for joy. They create dependency rather than empowerment, doubt rather than clarity, division rather than unity. Their presence dims your spiritual light rather than fanning it into brighter flame. Learning to distinguish between divine correction and demonic manipulation becomes crucial for spiritual maturity. God's discipline feels like loving surgery, painful but precisely targeted toward healing specific wounds. Demonic influence feels like poison spreading through your entire system, contaminating everything it touches. The recovery process requires patience with yourself. Victims of spiritual manipulation often struggle with self-blame, wondering how they failed to recognize the danger sooner. This self-recrimination serves no constructive purpose and often prolongs healing. Instead, view your experience as education in spiritual warfare, preparation for helping others who face similar battles. Your sensitivity to spiritual dynamics, rather than representing weakness, indicates a gift requiring proper development. Those who can detect spiritual atmospheres carry valuable abilities for discerning truth from deception, authenticity from performance, divine presence from demonic counterfeit. This sensitivity needs protection and proper channeling, not suppression or shame. As you rebuild after spiritual assault, remember that your experience creates capacity to minister to others suffering similar attacks. Your testimony becomes a weapon against the forces that once tormented you. Your healing process, when complete, transforms into a roadmap for other survivors navigating similar territory. The ultimate victory involves not just escape from spiritual predators but development into someone who can spot them quickly and help others recognize these patterns. Your spiritual education, though costly, produces wisdom that protects entire communities from similar infiltration. This knowledge carries responsibility. Once you understand these dynamics, you become accountable for protecting others, especially those newer to spiritual discernment. Your experience transforms from personal tragedy into community shield. Your wisdom becomes corporate protection.